Astro Gaming. You're showing us off some headsets. Sorry,
That's right.
could you let the people know your name and title at Astro?
Yeah, my name's Thaddeus Cooper. I'm the director of community at Astro Gaming.
Cool.
Label
Cool.
hear me?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, where's your mic?
Oh.
that was great. So Thaddeus Cooper at Astro.
Yes, that's me.
Thank you.
With a mic.
Yeah. Now people can hear you. I knew something was missing. So you just introduced the new A10s.
Yes, that's these right here.
Tell us all about it.
The A10 is a wired gaming headset that we have designed for the under $100 price point. So this is probably our most accessible headset to date. We really had a design philosophy behind this. It was driven by our community. We run surveys every year. We collect a lot of data, having a lot of conversations with our professional gamers, our streamers, esports athletes, and then our community at large. And what we found out, through talking with our community is we looked at a lot of our survey data, and over 60% of our community actually didn't own any Astro Gaming products. And we kind of felt like there was a gap that we had created between our high-end products, our A50s and our A40s, and some of the people who really wanted to engage with Astro Gaming at a deeper level. And so we decided to take that as a challenge to design something for a wider range of gamers. But to do that, we had to be able to build something that would also live up to the Astro name. We've definitely built a name for ourselves for being quality, for being what I would say is a premium brand. And so we had to look at what was the most important to our fans and kind of distill what I would say is like the core essence of a gaming headset, and really look at what matters to our community. And so looking at all the data and the conversations that we've had, the top four things were durability, comfort, audio quality, and compatibility. And so we kind of stripped away everything that wasn't those things, right? So you're not going to see like lights on the headsets, the ear cups don't swivel, there's no speaker tags, the mic isn't removable. But what you are going to see is, durability. It's the most durable headset we've ever built, and it's probably the most durable headset most people will ever get their hands on. We put a ton into the material to make sure that this headset's going to be able to withstand whatever a gamer's going to throw into it. So, for $60, this headset is going to be able to it's not going to fall apart. It's not going to break. It's pretty scratch and dent resistant. We did a really long study on headsets and looked at what were the biggest failure points, and we found that the headband was one of the biggest points of failure. So if you want to hold that for a second, I can actually.
That is flexible.
Just torque this thing in a million different ways, and then I can just put it on and start gaming. Sorry. So it's going to be one of the most durable headsets that you can buy for under $100. It's probably going to beat, for durability, most headsets that you can buy for over $100 as well. Audio quality was another one, which that's awesome for us to hear, because our fans come to expect from us, a pretty high level of audio quality. We put a very similar 40mm driver in the A10 that we have in the A40s and A50s, and we tuned them with the same philosophy that we tune for all of our pro gaming gear. So that means that we tuned for highs and mids to be able to be very clear and come through very audibly, and that philosophy is all about having less bass distortion. So we go with a 40mm driver because we feel like it's the pinnacle for esports and for being able to pick up on things like footsteps and doors opening and guns reloading. I have a great story I like to tell about why we designed for kind of like a pinnacle of audio. We have a streamer, his name's Legion. He's a really great guy, one of my favorite people to hang out with at shows, but he's also amazing at Halo. And one of the things that he can do when he's playing one-on-one with people is actually know what weapon they're using based on the sound it makes when they take it out. And so you take out the shotgun, and he's going to look at you and he's going to say, "Oh, I heard you got the shotgun. I'm going to get a sniper rifle. You're never going to get close to me." And then you'll take out the rocket launcher and he'll be like, "Oh, rocket launcher. I'm going to get the sword and I'm going to come after you." And so that's a competitive level of edge that you get from having that very clear mids and highs without too much bass distorting it. And that's not what every gamer needs, but if we tune for that and they're able to get those clear channels, what happens is they're able to experience a broader soundscape in the game. You hear all of the ambient sounds that producers put into the game, right? So audio designers put in things like footsteps through grass change in Skyrim, like as you're walking through different foliage and whatnot, and so being able to hear that clearly without having too much bass intruding on that is very important to us. And so we've made sure that these carry that same level of quality that the A40 and A50 have always produced for our fans. And comfort, mean, you could definitely try putting it on. Comfort is.
I don't know if I'll be able to hear you. I'm going to try it out. That is comfortable. It's very soft.
Yeah, so we went with very similar cushions and very similar fabric that we have on the A40s. We wanted it to be breathable. You know, we went through iterations where we used just tons of different materials, tons of different textiles, and we found one that allowed the right amount of airflow through that would keep your ears cool without needing any kind of special technology. We don't have to put like, you know, heat sinks or anything in our headset. It's basically just going to stay. It's going to keep you nice and comfortable. We went through clamping force iterations where, you know, we changed the small kink in the headset here, which we've designed to, you know, the whole reason that's there is so it'll fit over any VR headsets. We've designed it around, you know, PlayStation VR, HTC Vive, Oculus. But we had to go through iterations of changing that and the headband tension just to make sure that it had like the exact clamping force of newtons that we wanted to have the headset feel secure on your head, but not so tight that it's going to give you like a tension headache or what we call headset fatigue. You'll also notice that the angled in design puts a little more tension just below your ear on your jaw instead of over your head, and what that's going to allow you to do is be able to wear glasses while you're gaming, like Gunners, or if you wear prescription glasses, less tension is going to be put up at the top, so you're not going to feel your glasses being pushed into the side of your head. So, you know, when you pick it up, you can feel that it's a little hefty. It feels like a solid piece of consumer electronics. But we've designed it so the weight is distributed evenly, so it doesn't actually feel very heavy on your head, and you can play for long periods of time without feeling a lot of fatigue.
So let me just go back to the beginning real quick.
Yeah.
Astro Gaming was founded. You guys were made to make gamer stuff, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Well, we started as part of Astro Studios, which is a design powerhouse in San Francisco, and they were an industrial. Well, they still are. They're still around. They're a design studio that does a lot of industrial design work. They design like cars. They designed things like the Nike Fuel Band, -8 watches, but we also designed gaming products for a time. We did the first line of Alienware computers, and Astro Studios actually designed the Xbox 360 with its concave exhale design. And there was a contingency in the studio that really wanted to focus on gaming, and they wanted to launch their own products, and so we spun off from Astro Studios and became Astro Gaming to focus purely on gaming products. And you know, we took the knowledge that we had from designing things like the Xbox 360 to make products specifically for the console gaming and then PC gaming realm.
yeah, and that segued into specializing in headsets.
Yeah, well, not just headsets that we specialize in. We really specialize in esports and pro performance headsets. When we started designing, we really wanted to look at the pinnacle. Like I said, we wanted to look at like the people who are the top like 2 to 10% of users and what they really need. We found that esports was the place where you're going to find those people in gaming. Mm-hmm. You know, very much like sporting goods companies work with pro athletes to design things, and later they create something that's a little more mass market. We look at esports and we look at the top end consumer and we say, what do they need? And so we spent a lot of time in with teams in professional esports, following them around back in 2006 when we first started, and we really thought we were going to make a controller originally. But when we got into the scene, we saw that there was a huge need for better audio. Back in the original days of console esports, you'd go see teams lined up and they'd be playing with like one ear cup on, one ear listening to the game audio, and they'd have like the Microsoft communicator in the other ear so they could talk to their team. So it was a really inelegant solution.
Really jerry-rigged.
Yeah, it was kind of very MacGyver put together. So he's back now, right? So I can reference
sure.
MacGyver. And not feel old. So it was a really inelegant solution, and so we realized that we could marry elegant design with superior engineering and make something that would solve a lot of problems for a lot of people in the gaming space. And when we launched our first headset, we actually were prototyping it with teams, and we had created like this private voice network and a headset that was like really durable and comfortable, had the high quality that you get out of an A40 right now, which is our competitive esports headset. And the teams that were using it were the teams that we were sponsoring, and other teams didn't have access to it because they weren't for sale yet. And the MLG actually banned us from tournaments because our teams were performing so well. They were outperforming other teams, and so they banned us until we made it into retail so everyone could buy the headset. So we kind of joke lovingly that we were the performance-enhancing drug of the MLG. Yeah. So I mean, that's our pedigree. That's where we came from. And for the last 10 years, our first headset is 10 years old now. And we've refined it over the last 10 years into, it outperforms the original. It performs in multiple environments now. But we learned a lot about designing for comfort, designing durability, designing amazing audio spaces. And so we've taken all of that, and we've taken and kind of stripped away all the stuff that the core gamer doesn't need. You don't need lights on your headset to enjoy your game better, right? You don't need a lot of those extra features, but what you do need is a headset that's not going to break, right? Because if your headset falls apart on you in the middle of the game, you're not going to have audio until you go back, and buy a new one, and it's going to be a really frustrating experience.
And something you had mentioned to me when we were talking before is that you wanted durability, not just that it won't break when you smack it on a table, but also after a year of repeated use of doing this over and over again.
Well, so in community, one of the biggest things that we hear is the story of, I bought X headset and 3 months later it fell apart, or I bought, and then I went and bought another headset and like 6 or 7 months it fell apart. And then I bought an Astro A40 and it's amazing, and I should have put the money into buying an A40 originally, because then I would still have my headsets. And that's awesome for us to hear, because it's like, yay, you found our company, that's awesome, we love to have you in our community. But it's also kind of sad to hear that you had to spend so much money and so much frustration to finally find us. So what we'd rather do is give you a headset that you can, if all you need is a headset that sounds great and is comfortable and works, you can start there and enjoy the headset, and it'll last you for a couple years. And then hopefully, down the line, you'll say, oh, I really want to try, speaker tags and mod kits. I really want those customizable EQ presets that the A40s have or the A50s have, or I want to go wireless, so I'll upgrade to an A50. So we really have this philosophy of, we want you to upgrade when you're ready to upgrade, not because you're forced to, because the last couple things you bought don't work anymore.
And I noticed there's 3 boxes.
Right.
Well, there's 2 boxes and there's 1 headset.
Yeah. So
there's 3 models.
Yep.
Here.
So the fourth thing that I said was really important to us was compatibility, and the headset itself interfaces through a 3.5 audio jack, and so that means that this headset is actually compatible with anything that uses a 3.5 millimeter audio jack.
So pretty much everything.
Yeah, everything except for your iPhone if you want to charge it.
That's true, because of courage.
Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, we have an Xbox version, which is the green. We have a PC version, which is the red, and a blue version for PlayStation 4. But they actually work across everything. There's a special version of the green for Xbox, and that comes with a controller-mounted PMD. We call it the Mixamp M60. So that's a chat adapter that you can plug into your controller, and that allows you to access game voice balance. So if a friend drops in when you're playing Destiny or something, and you want to start chatting with them, but you've got your voice turned all the way down, you don't have to actually leave the game, go into the audio settings in the console and turn up voice chat. You just do it right on the PMD, and then it allows you to access your overall volume, so you can turn your volume up and down, and then mute your mic. We have a standalone version of the green and one that comes with the M60.
Sure. The
standalone $60, the M60 is $100. The reason we did that is because we still feel that those controller-mounted controls allow kind of for a better, more elegant solution to having your audio at your fingertips. And that's kind of what we like to do. We like to give our audience, the most elegant solution to their problems that we can.
So these are the model for the average gamer, not the pro player. If somebody does want to upgrade to the 40, like what are the extra bells and whistles they get with those?
Yeah, so for the A40, the biggest change that we've had in the last few years is what's called mod kits. So the newest version of the A40 is called the A40 TR, and a mod kit actually allows you to remove the ear cushions and remove the speaker tags and the headband and replace them with leather noise canceling units. And so you just pop them in via magnets. They're really simple to swap out. And then once you've done that, it takes the headset and it goes from an open back headset to a closed back headset. There's also a noise canceling unidirectional mic that actually has noise canceling microphones on the back that sample outside noise. And then when you run it through our Mixamp, it actually runs it through a noise canceling algorithm that makes your voice a lot clearer. And that allows you, with a daisy chain network through the Mixamps, to communicate with your teams even in some of the loudest environments. So some of the largest esports arenas, you're going to be able to plug the mic in with the mod kits, and you're going to have a noise isolating experience, and your communication's going to be really clear. The Mixamp itself that goes with the A40 has audio EQ presets, so you're able to go in with software and actually tune your audio into 4 saved slots and be able to cycle through them. So you can have one that's more for like sports games and one that's more for cinematics, and you can have like an FPS mode. You can have like a movie mode if you're watching movies on your PC or on your console. And so all of that's customizable in software. there are things like stream output on the mix amp that allows you to record multiple channels of audio. There's an aux in, so you can plug your phone in and actually take phone calls through your headset while you're gaming, or you can just play background music if you have stuff on your phone, or you're listening to Spotify and you want to have like your own soundtrack while you're gaming. So that's kind of the upgrade path. Is like there's a lot of quality of life features that go into the A40, and there's a lot of features that allow pro players to kind of take more advantage of their environment that the A10 doesn't have.
And you mentioned
no, a
couple times you mentioned the A10 doesn't have lights. The A40 has lights.
No, the A40 doesn't have lights.
The A50 has lights.
We have nothing that has
you
lights.
Have no lights.
We don't do lights.
I was going to ask what's the function of the lights, but I guess
I've always asked myself that, especially since you're wearing your headset and I can't see my headset
see the
when
lights,
I'm wearing it, but I guess the lights are there, so I guess that's important. No, what the A50 has is not lights, but it's a wireless headset, and so there is a battery light on it, but it comes with a conductive charging base station, and that base station allows you to actually see how much battery life is in your headset. So it's one of those things that not a lot of wireless headsets allow you to do. So you can actually set the base station, by your console or within eyesight, and you can actually see how much battery life you have left. So your wireless headset's never going to go dead when you're in the middle of a game. You'll actually see, I've got 1 bar and it's flashing red. That means I have 20 minutes or under, so I should charge it. So, and you can even plug and play charge that headset, so you don't actually have to stop your game. It's 15 hours of battery life. It has, one of the coolest things that I like to talk about with the A50, and I wish I had one here to show you, is it has an accelerometer built into it, which means that what we want is 15 hours of actual gameplay, not 15 hours of my headset was turned on, but I only played for like 7 and the battery went dead. If you take your headset off, like say someone comes to your front door or you have to take a phone call, you set it down on the table. After 30 seconds and the headset doesn't detect any movement, it's actually going to auto shut off. It'll unpair from the console, it'll auto shut off, it'll go into a deep power save mode, and then as soon as you pick it back up, it's going to turn back on. And so that's going to allow you to maximize your battery and your game time without having to sacrifice anything. So it's just one of those
feature, yeah,
it's one of those little features that, until you see it in a headset, you see it and then you're like, oh man, why doesn't every headset have that? So yeah, that's
and the A10, which is what these are.
That is what we're here for today.
like the A40s, A50s, pro players, esports, or anybody who just wants a really high performance headset. But that doesn't mean the A10 is like the cheap one or anything. It's still a very nice headset.
It's feature light is what I would say, but that's because we didn't want it to be a cheap headset. We wanted it to be what I would say is like the most quality you're going to get for that price point, right?
And what is the price point? I don't know.
$60. $60 for the standalone headset, $100 with the Mix Amp M60.
Nice. And I would ask when these are going to be in stores, but actually they already are. They're already out there.
Well, they're on our website,
on your website
right now, and then they'll be in stores probably around July.
Oh, okay. So not that long to wait before you can see them.
Well, you don't have to wait. You can just order them from us.
You just order straight.
And the guy will actually bring them to your house. You don't have to leave.
Will it be you?
Well, if you live in San Jose, you might be able to arrange that. Or San Francisco, I might be that nice. But anywhere else, I think it's going to be somebody
probably
else.
Someone wearing UPS or something.
Probably somebody in a brown uniform is going to show up here.
All right, thanks so much for your time.
He or she will be nice too. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, anytime.
Cool. We will be back with more from Shacknews on the E3 show floor.